Hello there people, this is Brucey or nintenbruce here, back again with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Decade Duels Plus action. And this time we're taking it old school a little bit. I will be providing post-commentary on this game and another video as well, mainly because I messed up my partner's audio. So that kind of sucks with me talking to myself, unfortunately. I just can't do that sort of video again. Anyway, I've got my partner Yoshi here. I've been promising him a game since forever ago, just like I have done with a lot of you, but finally I just had a night where I can finally start playing with people, which was great. So, my partner, as you can tell here, Yoshi, is running dragons. It's not because that's his preference, it's because he doesn't have all the cards, so out of what you can make, dragons is the most viable option. So I will be tagging up with my Dark Horus deck, and this person we're up against here, King of Dragons, Yoshi has actually played before, and it seems they just keep on bumping into each other as, arch rivals. Maybe not quite on the standard of Yugi versus Kaiba, i.e. one of them standing on the top of the edge of a castle, threatening to jump if he doesn't win the match, but there you have it. So we're going to be up against his, what was it called? It was the fusion one, the Destiny Hero Dragoon deck. And with Messenger of Peace, for those of you that don't know, Dragoon can just sit on the field, and even if he can't attack with his immense attack power, he can just blow up a monster and I believe cause 1,000 damage. So the Messenger of Peace up on there, we have to try and get rid of that as soon as possible, or just stop him summoning out Dragoon. Now here I did actually have a choice, which is why I've been thinking for a little while, and that's whether to brain control the Stratus tribute for Horus and then just do a direct attack, or do the safe approach because we don't know what his face down is, and set the Sangam, set the Royal Decree as well. And I was contemplating there whether to set anything else up for my partner, but what we can do is flip the Royal Decree if basic Oba here doesn't do anything crazy, and yeah, just be pretty much set for the rest of the game. So here I believe he decided to pay the Messenger of Peace life points either because he knew what King of Dragons was playing, or he just didn't want to interrupt any sort of patterns of his partner. And you could tell he was happy enough just setting the card and ending the turn from there. And here I was discussing with Yoshi, look, do you have any trap cards that you really needed? Turns out he only had a Mirror Force. Yes, it's a destructive card, but all the rest are monsters. Now, the fun thing with Royal Decree, especially with a decent back row like that there, is it can induce maybe a rage quit or two. So there we have, the connection to the opponent has been lost. Fantastic. That's game one of this epic partnership here. Next up we're up against Bad Dog 96 and God's Fantasy. I do forget what he's played, but as you can see, Bad Dog with 59 cards. Well, we'll see how it rolls. I do forget what he's playing. My partner here opens up with a pretty decent hand. I mean, you got the Mirror Force there, Red Eyes Wyvern, just missing that Darkness Metal Dragon. And for some odd reason, we get an Elemental Hero Prisma out. There's heroes all over the place here that we're up against. But this could be quite an interesting deck as Cyber Dragon is flipped. So Cyber Dragon into the graveyard. Quite hard to make a Cyber Dragon deck run smoothly on Decade Duels Plus, as you're only allowed to run one Cyber Dragon. So make of that what you will. Anyway, so he sends Cyber Dragon to the graveyard, sets the two back row cards, and I believe he just ends it there. He might or might not be conferring with his partner about what to do. Goes to my turn, and I have a very interesting hand. Interesting for the fact of I could either summon the Horus out, flip the Book of Moon on the Stratus and try and get a cheeky level 6 out, or I could even do a mind control and sync with my Gale Black Whirlwind, although that does seem a bit of a waste. Or I could just summon any monster out really, set the Book of Moon, or set both Book of Moons rather, and just protect my monster. Now, the fun thing is my partner does have Horus level 6 and 8 in his deck, so it would have been viable to set both Books of Moon for my partner and, try and not trigger any traps. But at the end of the day, I decided to just go for it. I went for the risky approach. Was trying to goad out anything before playing Book of Moon, but my partner knew what he was doing. He waited, Sakuretsu Armor, and at the end of the day I suppose anyone would have done that really. I mean, if a monster with a lower attack is running into your monster, then you know, why would you want to activate anything until the very last moment? So, alas, there goes my Horus level 4 rather, my beautiful, beautiful Horus level 4, down to a Sakuretsu armour. The gamble did not pay off, but you know what, we'll set a dummy, see what we can make of it and go from there. So now we go into God's Fantasies deck. 50 cards, or sorry, 51 cards, so not quite as big, but still a bit questionable, and no extra deck there. So we got the set, got a Summon of Silent Swordsman level 3. Now this did take both of us off guard a little bit because, well, we know how powerful level monsters are, but Silent Swordsman isn't usually seen that often. But he can be very, very troublesome when his different levels come out, like level 5 and level 7. Now, the plus side of this is because God's Fantasy's partner is not running Swordsman, he would have to wait 2 turns to activate the effect. So this actually bought us a little bit of time, which is, you know, it's just great. And we didn't realise that at first, so we were just thinking, okay, summon something out, get rid of that Silent Swordsman level 3, just, you know, get it out there as soon as possible. So partner brings out the Red Eyes Wyvern, and we, well, try to run over the Silent Swordsman level 3, what can I say? A flip of the Magic Cylinder. Now that would have been troublesome. Yes, it's annoying taking the life point damage anyway, but if it was single player, that would have been very, very troublesome indeed, because Magic Cylinder negates the attack. Silent Swordsman level 3 would have been up there in the main phase, or standby phase rather, to activate the effect, and we would have had a little bit of trouble. But no biggie, guys, no biggie. We've still got one more turn to do this. One more turn. So, Bad Dog plays that good old Stratus, which you should run in any form of hero deck. And instead of actually drawing something to his hand, he blows up a back row. And luckily, he blew up the dummy. And that, guys, is why you should always play a dummy, even if you think it's going to be useless. You know, play it, and you'd be very, very surprised what plays could happen. So thanks to the dummy being out there, my partner could activate the Mirror Force. Down go all those monsters, which is lovely, absolutely lovely. But again, you know what happens with things like that. When you wreck your opponent, they tend to rage quit a bit. So that is the second game of rage quitting / disconnection. And now we've got the final game here. So don't worry, guys, this one is a complete game. My partner decided to set this up as a singles game now, so no excuses for the opponent to run if they're just, you know, if they don't want to come back on the match mode. So partner draws up pretty good here. Got the Heavy Storm, got a Red Eyes Wyvern as well as the Vice Dragon, so he can special summon some fodder if he really wanted to. He can even special summon fodder for me to get out Horus level 6 as well, which is always awesome. Now, you know, when always setting the field spell, like 99 times out of 100, it's always going to be Gear Town, so we know not to blow that up. Plus side is if the partner isn't running the Gear Town build, then that field spell will be useless if we blow it up. Now, big thing here, Horus level 4 destroys the face down card, which was beautiful. We was afraid it was going to be something of beefy defense, and we were just, you know, hoping it wasn't something we couldn't get over. And luckily level 4 gets his effect off, gets rid of a card on the field, and now the monster we have cannot be affected by spells. So end turn we can't be brain controlled, lightning vortexed, mind controlled, shrunk, you name it, it can't be done. And Mr. Godspeed here, God knows what that character is, but you can tell he thinks a little bit, and brings out Kyber Man. Now my partner Yoshi here didn't have a clue that this guy existed, and instantly, it's a shame I didn't have my own voice clip, otherwise I would put it over this, but literally I was just like, oh my god, my poor Horus level 6 is going to get trounced by the special summon of a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Not much could be done here, not much could be done. It seems like that effort was all in vain, but worst case scenario is, or best case scenario, is if another monster is summoned, I could use Phantom of Chaos to banish level 6, get the effect and destroy a monster, and try and bring out level 8 and bring something with a beefier attack. Now, my partner here is thinking, okay, 3000 attack a monster on the field. I think we might want some defence. So he plays the Swords of Revealing Light to help us out a little bit. And he then decides to go for a special summon of Vice Dragon very, very shortly. There we go. Followed by the set of Totem Dragon. And that, you know, what more could you do? What more can you do? If the opponent can get rid of Swords of Revealing Light, then, you know, we don't want to be trounced with a 400 attacker face up, or the, I believe it was 1200 attacker from Vice Dragon. Opponent, I believe, just leaves it here actually. You know, there's a big beastie on the field on her or his side already. I really can't tell from the avatar, you can't trust people's avatars. And you know, that Gear Town is still there just waiting to do something nasty. Now here, decide to think for a little bit. The Lightning Vortex had to be done to get rid of that beefy monster, but it was just a question of how to capitalise on it. So I was discussing with my partner Yoshi here, look, I need to tribute one of your monsters, might as well be Totem Dragon so we can get the effect off. But one thing I did forget is Totem Dragon's effect is reliant on there being dragons in the graveyard, and you know, there's no way I could get rid of Sangan or Phantom of Chaos, or sorry, anything other than Phantom of Chaos or Sangan, because we want to make a big play here. So we forget about Totem Dragon's effect for now. Bring out level 6. I don't go straight for the level up because, you know, something nasty happens, i.e. Solemn Judgment, you know, Bottomless Trap Hole, whatever. I want to do some damage first. So we test the waters, attack with just 2300 attack instead of 3000. End of the day, they're on 8000 life points. 700 wouldn't have made, you know, a game-breaking difference to it. So I'm looking at Totem Dragon, that's where I kind of realise, oh crap, you know, I've messed up the effect. Anyway, get the attack off, decide to go for the level up, and unless Solemn Judgment was changed to level up, there's no way that could be played now. So we've got a lovely level 8 face up on the field, so opponent can't play any spells, could still get the effect of Gear Town, but we're now moving into the player's turn who doesn't rely on Gear Town at all. So this does actually come up a bit later, which I'll explain. Opponent Godspeed just sets a card, sets a face down monster on the field as well, and ends it there. Nice simple turn. And this is where I start saying to my partner, because Yoshi is saying, look, I want to play the Heavy Storm. I want to do something. I want to play the Heavy Storm. And I'm saying, look, you can't. There's that Gear Town on the field. You know, please don't. We can't get anything over that. Is it Chimera Tech? No, not Chimera Tech. I'm thinking of something else completely. But Gajiltron Dragon, without running over Horus level 8, or sorry, destroying the Horus level 8. So opponent decides to play Pot of Avarice, bung all the monsters into the deck. I'm not going to lie, it annoyed me a little bit because I was thinking, if I bump into Phantom of Chaos, I can't get level 6's effect. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It was just a case of clearing the field so he could play Heavy Storm. Draw doesn't really do anything for us. He gold sarcophaguses for Future Fusion, which, you know, is a key card in any dragon deck really. And, well, we wait for the Future Fusion first, obviously. There we go. And I think this was the bit now where I start highlighting Gear Town, and it just suddenly clicks like, hold on a second, it's not the Gear Town player's turn. Why are we holding on to Heavy Storm now? So what my partner is going to do, obviously he's going to get the Heavy Storm, try and blow everything up. So there we go, this is a little discussion now where I just suddenly go, oh, I'm enlightened, how silly of me, just play it, just play it. And hopefully if there is no negation, then that is it, which it is. And of course that was a Gear Town, can't get the effect off. So he's now free to tribute Vice Dragon, bring out that strong Wind Dragon, which can cut through a lot of defence. I mean, what does it bring up to? 3600 attack, is it? Or 3000, I think. Sorry, 3400. I can't count for the life of me. So there's no way any simple set is going to, well, take a little damage. 3150 there. It's game. Horus level 8. Blow, you know, just rocks. What can I say? Absolutely rocks. And the deck went extremely well. So with that in mind, guys, pop your thoughts and comments in the section below. Let us know what you thought of this lovely holy little partnership, as well as the fact that Godspeed and Shadowplay actually stayed in, so kudos to you guys. And until next time, people, you take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again very, very soon.